Today I'm going to teach you how to use Claude Code, and this video is the only video that you need in order to understand and start building with Claude Code. So I hope you're as excited as I am. So let's go with it, the only video. First of all, we are going to talk about the full learning path on exactly why you should Claude, what's the difference between Claude and Codex and all the other platforms, what are exactly the best models which are out there, and also how you can use prompts which are going to get you the best results. This is really important and we are going to cover it in the middle, but it's really important because people are prompting it completely wrong and we don't want to be doing this. And we're going to jump further, and we're going to talk a bit about the agent architecture, about MCP servers, tool calling, how you can make sure that your AI agent does it properly. So that's something that we're also going to have. So let's jump and go deep down into it and then start with this. So first of all, as you can see, as you can see, we have got ChatGPT, Claude, 3 different interfaces. When we come here, we have got Claude.ai, we have got Code GUI, and we have got the code TUI, which is the terminal. So there are many different ways by which you can start using Claude. One of them is Claude Web that you can see here. This is where you can ask it any question, and this is how we're using it. You can switch between many different models: Haiku, Opus 4.7, Sonnet. Opus 4.7 is working excellent right now. It's even better than Codex, but you have to see exactly for what you're using it for. In my experience, Opus 4.7, when it comes to coding for different UIs, is excellent, but for other things, it's not as good because the limit keeps on running out. So that's one of the problems with Opus 4.7. Now, when we go back also and we look at this, we have got the Claude.ai. This is something where you've got zero setup, and this is Claude, which we have got with terminal, and we have got this. So this is Claude. This is the whole app that they have created. This is excellent, and you can use it for anything that you want. This is one of their super apps. So if you look around, you're going to see that Codex, Claude, all of them are coming up with their own super apps. This is the one from Claude, and it's working excellent. As you can see, we have been running many different mock-ups, building out different products when it comes to Claude Code. If you want to assign it different tasks, which it does automatically, you can easily go to co-work, and here exactly you can have running tasks. Thirdly, if you want to chat and ask really questions, this is something that you can use, and you can ask it questions. I'm always asking questions regarding my YouTube channel because I'm trying to grow it, and Claude is one of the best partners to actually come and support and help you out with it. And obviously, if you want to research things with Claude Code, that's also excellent. Here you can see I was researching dropshipping for e-com. So Claude with their app is also excellent, and I feel like they're going to keep on adding a lot of different functionality in it, so it's going to become really good. Now, thirdly, we want to talk about terminal. So I'm just going to open my terminal TMUX or CMUX. These are many terminals. So if you are more a programmer and you want to look cool while using Claude, this is one of those ways. You can open Claude easily in any project. For example, this is the repository where I've got all my projects. And I'm just going to go in there and I'm going to go into vibe selling. This is one of the startups that I'm building, actually my main startup. And if I want to start using Claude in there, I'm just going to go and write Claude. Claude, I've already downloaded. It's super easy to download Claude. You can just download it, go here and just download Claude. Once you have installed it, it's always going to give you an option to install it on a terminal or desktop. So you've got many different methods to actually do it. For example, terminal, you just have to click it and it's going to automatically do it for you. So it's claude.com/download. This is also going to be available to you. So once you have done this, you could just go in. This is my project, vibe selling, and then you're just going to do Claude. This automatically takes everything which is in that folder and gives it as a context to Claude. And now I can ask it to do anything. So this, if I want to, okay, let me ask it, find me security vulnerabilities in my project. So this is going to go and find me all the security vulnerabilities that exist in there. So, and Claude is just running, and it's only running in vibe selling folder. It's not running anywhere. So this is another way how you can use Claude. So these are the different methods. Once we are doing it, let me also get back and show you exactly these 3 interfaces that we have. What are exactly the benefits that you're going to get? File access, Claude GUI. The code GUI has a lot of has file access, already has the commands. If you are a new new person, I'd recommend always to go with Claude app. This is really good. I also use it for most of my use cases, even though I'm a developer since 15 years. Now, I also want to mention one thing which is really important. What's the difference between Claude and ChatGPT or Codex models? This is something that we have in our extensive testing. You know, we are also streaming daily content and we're building a lot of different startups in there. So we are running all of these models in a lot of depth. And for us, when we look at Sonnet, so we have the option of comparing Sonnet or Opus 4.7. Right now, we are comparing Sonnet from Claude and GPT 5.5 or GPT 5.5 instant, but this is 5.5. Here, what we have seen really that the context window, the difference is really huge. GPT 5.5 is not taking context as good as Claude. When it comes to coding agent, Claude Codex does not have a terminal agent, but this is something that they've planned and it's also going to start coming in the future. Also, when it comes to MCPs, Claude has really adopted it as a tool. MCPs are something which allows tool calling, prompting, a systemized prompting, and also giving code context. So that's MCP, and that's something that Claude has natively. Codex or ChatGPT does not have it. There you've got tool calling, which also works quite good, if I'm being honest, but they're not that much into the MCP thing, MCP ways of world. And there's a high chance that MCP completely either dies out and everybody goes to tool calling in structure, or it becomes one of the standards. That's something that we have to see in the new models and see what bet is being made. Also, Codex, you can give it a global memory. You can just assign it complete folders or global memory of everything. But Claude is really focused on folder because you could understand when an AI LLM model, which all of them are based on, when they have got a lot of data, then answering it requires more GPU power because the LLM has to go in, look through the whole context and come up with the answer. So that's why a lot of these products you're going to see either are limiting that or they're giving it as an incentive because they're working strongly on the research and improving that, giving LLM memories, because that's one of the biggest problems. If that is solved, then then we are very much closer to AGI than it's possible. Also, just looking at prompting, this is something that I always wanted to discuss because when you're prompting, a lot of things can go wrong. And right now, the thing is, you have limited, as a user, you always get restricted because the tokens get used up really fast. So you really want to make sure that your prompting is happening good. If I tell you about me, I've got two Codex accounts, two Claude accounts, and I'm just switching between all of them because I'm using both of them to build my startup. I think I'm gonna get another Codex plan because we're shifting more towards Codex and maybe also Claude because Claude is running out really fast. So you really want to make sure that you're prompting properly. As you can see, what is exactly a bad prompt? I'm just going to give you an example. If you're building an application, you're giving it, write me a Python script for my app. If you write it, that is a bad prompt. Let's take an example here. We're going to go and we're just going to create a new session. Write me a Python script for my app. If you're writing this, then the problem is you've not given it enough context. So right now, Claude does not understand that much. It's going to come back with, hey, can you please give me a bit more details? But the problem is when you're running a lot of prompts, you're just running out of your prompts. You're running out of how many executions you can make, and it's also slowing the process. What I really recommend when you're going there is to always come up with something which is really in detail. For example, you could ask, I'm building a fast API backend, read URLs from CSV. You can assign it a CSV, fetch title plus meta, handle errors, use HTTPX async, and write clean code. This is something which is going to give it a lot of context and understand to go really, really know what you really want in your app. So this is how we are programming it. In later videos, I'm going and building all these products in depth. This is more like a general video about everything. So that's why I'm trying to keep it a bit more on the surface level. So 6 rules for better prompts. Really important that you break them down. You assign up a specific rule. You give it a context first, and you also give it examples. Giving it examples is really excellent because then it really understands what you are trying to do and it contextualizes it properly. Also, specifying different formats is excellent, as you can see, because just like we said, CSV format, and we are also telling it HTTP X async. This is exactly how you want to use it. So that's actually super excellent. And right now, if you're looking at Cloud Code in 2026, we are seeing that the GUI is going and becoming a super app. The terminal is, I feel like in the future, it's going to get less things are going to be pushed there, and it's just going to become something that the developers are using, because there are some issues which are very hard. Even me as a developer, when I'm using the Claude Code GUI, then I can take an image, I can upload it in there, and I could tell Claude, hey, can you please fix this or change this or add this image or create a design similar to this? I could do it easily in the GUI. But imagine you're using a terminal like CMux or something like this. What's gonna happen? It's hard. How do you upload an image here? You can't just drag and drop an image here. For example, if I'm trying to drag and drop an image here, let's say it just gives this, it doesn't upload it. So that's a problem. But if I'm using the same image and I'm adding it here, it could just understand it super properly. And that makes life 100 times easier. So you can really give a context. So that's the difference. That's a huge difference. If you're using all of this tech a lot, you're going to realize that it causes a lot of issues here. So that's the thing. So I feel like the key shift which is happening, all of these are becoming super apps. And I'd also recommend you to actually properly get this app, and that's going to work excellent. Now, coming back a bit to the agent architecture, I really want to mention this before we jump off. Agent architecture is really important because you really want to understand how Claude works and how how it's changing from everything else. For example, right now, when you go on Claude and you write some text, just like we started writing it in CMux, as you can see, do you want to proceed? Yes, no. Okay, this is, we want to proceed always. I tell AI always to proceed. So because we're running it, so it's going to give, this is finding security vulnerabilities, but back to it later. When we're writing something in text, just like I did it, there's an orchestrator, and at orchestration level, because it has to understand the message and it has to understand what exactly to call. Am I going for search? Am I going for writing? Am I going for code? Am I going to database? This is something which is really important. Database means it's going to context. Where exactly does it have to go? Code, what exactly does it have to execute? Writing, okay, this is SEO focused, you just want writing. So it really has to understand. And search, does it have to go and make a tool call and start searching on the internet? So that orchestrator is really important, that it gives complete information on this, and then you get an output and the result comes. So this is exactly the 4-step agent loop that it goes through. There's a goal which you assign by mentioning exactly in your prompt, just like we did. Then it automatically plans and executes using orchestration, and then it executes and observe. We are executing and observing how everything is working, and then it is already done for you. Just like previously we mentioned MCP tech, I wanted to mention a bit more on MCP servers. As you can see here, MCP servers, I wanted to go a bit more in detail. So MCPs, what's the difference between MCPs and tool calling? Because tool calling is also part of ChatGPT. So MCP is not that native to ChatGPT. In MCP has many different things. It has got prompt structure in it. It has got context. There's a specific structure through which they contextualize everything. It has got tool calling in it, which is a part of it, where it goes and tries to find and search for many different things. And it has got connections with many different things. For example, it has got other MCP servers that it can natively connect to. And once you connect to them, then you don't need to build a lot of integrations yourself. So that's the benefit of MCP tools. This is something that's that MCP has, and that's something that that ChatGPT does not have. ChatGPT is giving prompting, is doing a lot of similar things, but it's doing it in a different structure. So that's what you can see. Without MCP, Claude in a box, it can't touch your database, it can't read GitHub issues, it can't read your Slack messages. But now with MCP, it can search web, live, anything that you're trying to tell it. It can query any database that you have, Superbase database. It can read your comments on GitHub, and it can send Slack messages. So it gives this LLM extreme amount of power, and that's actually the architecture that's behind this. I hope you like this video. If you liked it, check out my school community, where we are going and helping people vibe code and build their app, web app, mobile app really fast. You can find it here. We've got a lot of different classrooms in there. So this could be one of those things. Alternatively, if you want to learn about AI videos, we've got AVC community, where you can build out any AI ads, AI videos to market and sell your app. I'm just here coming and trying to teach you all of this, and we are coming daily with a lot of tutorials on every topic related to AI, which is relevant for you to start your business.